When Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan died in August of 1997, the world lost the undisputed master of Qawwali, Sufi devotional music. But Nusrat was also a master of the East-West collaboration, and in fact, when he died, there was already a remix project in the works here in London, England, on Peter Gabriel's Real World label called Starrise, featuring reinterpretations of Nusrat vocals by what they call the Asian underground. It's a flourishing and diverse scene encompassing breakbeats, reggae, hardcore, an astonishing array of music. So this album is now both a memorial to a past master and a snapshot of a scene.
I grew up listening to him. My parents used to listen to him a lot. My uncles used to listen to him.
But having music that your parents listen to, I mean, wouldn't that be instant death for kids?
It went, you know. Anything else, yeah, some of the cheesy stuff, like the film music, maybe, but the classical stuff.
It's more classical.
Any of the Indian classical stuff, when I was...
It spoke to you as a kid?
It was just played.
As a child, I detested Qawwalis, and because I couldn't understand what the lyrics were, and I was very naive to our culture, you know. And as I grew older, more and more sort of influences came out, and you know, hearing that Nusrat had even experimented and going with Michael Brook and like doing this, that, and the other, and I thought, well, you know, this is great.
Things like Banga and Qawwali were not necessarily big in my household at all. It was classical sitar music and Stevie Wonder, you know what I mean? It was
First thing, you got to dispel the assumption that Asian is one community. There's many different communities, cultures and languages, all right? Maybe Qawwali is listened to mostly by Pakistani and Punjabi people, all right? But, I mean, we're Bengali, South Indian, English, Irish, whatever, and we first got access to it, to the music, through the actual mixes, dance and dub mixes.
And actually, I should find you the original mix, because I think that makes more sense. Like what I actually used to mix at Roca.
Sure.
So that it kind of says where... We've got to find out where it is now. Yeah. I saw Nusrat about 15 years ago in London, and I was into hip-hop, soul, and, you know, lots of funky music and, I don't know, different kind of stuff. And I'd been at this performance where, for the first time in my life, I had to feel as I was forced to sort of move emotionally and physically to something like his voice, which I don't think anything ever influenced me like that.
It was almost on the day when the last mix came through that we heard of his death, and what was going to be a sort of more celebration, fun album in a way, became a tribute album. But it is also real evidence that the power of his work has moved into another generation.
You think that we're together, but we're not. We make totally, you could say totally different kind of music, although we've been put in the same bag because we're Asian.
That's right.
But other than
There's no actual Asian underground scene. There's no scene where all Asians are going to a club. The Asian underground scene is just us who make the music.
It's only been the last, maybe maximum a year, that Asians have started slowly coming in, you know, ones and twos.
But yeah, now they're starting to come a little bit, drips and drabs of them. But
Well, there never used to be no cred doing that, so...
Yeah. It was really important, though. It was really important.
Why is there no cred in appealing to the Asian community?
Bhangra put me off.
That's right, Bhangra.
Bhangra really put me off.
Old people, beer bellies, you know, Michael Jackson suits, you know, he just had no cred at all.
What people have got to understand, whatever community they come from, be it Asian or English, whatever, is that music and culture is not pure, all right? And you're always going to have purists who are saying, you can't do that, you mustn't do that, you know. You might have purists within Qawwali music and who forget that Qawwali has actually been developing over the last 1,000 years. And what Nusrat was doing was quite different to what was happening 1,000 years ago, all right?
He took flack from the purists, too.
Huh? Of course he did,
Speeding
yeah.
it up. Yeah. What a great thing to do. Oh. Our version was definitely was actually trying to reflect the energy and excitement and sweat of Nusrat. You know, this is seriously extreme music. It's exciting. It brings people to a real crescendo. People start, you know, it's
punky.
It's punky. We're just reflecting that. We're just taking that in, letting that spirit flow through us, through the instrumentation we use. You know, and it's like, our version divided people, you know what I mean? It polarised people. Some people thought it really took it to a new dimension. Other people, more from your Peter Gabriel real-world kind of mentality, thought that we were kind of like, oh, we'd sort of, you know, we'd not respected the meditative character of the music, you know.
To sample and to chop up those Qawwali vocals seems to me even more, I don't want to say sacrilegious, but against the spirit of what Qawwali is doing.
That's what will happen if you don't understand what you're dealing with. But if you treat them with respect, even that sampling them, using them in the right way is okay.
How do you handle that?
We understand what they're saying and you use the words in context. I wouldn't, like, mash up a word halfway through.
If you're taught correctly with an Ustad or a guru, your teacher is very much like above your parents, if you like, you know, because he's taught you the trade and he's given you a part of what is his life, you know, that he's worked all his life to do. And he's given you that element. And he wouldn't want to see that element go down to some underground club and just, like, jam it out with people raving half naked. And you can see the total contrast there.
whole point of doing what we do and everyone wanting to make music is that you're trying to sort of break down boundaries and open up a conception or a perception. You're trying to break down whatever way of thinking that people have been set into for too long, which has been created by the music system itself. The whole industry has created that. Good underground music is always made in the bedroom or in people's houses or in, you know, on very lo-fi equipment, because that is all they have access to, and that is what they've got to work with. And it's brilliant what some people come up with, and it is amazing. And realistically, the real Asian underground, we haven't heard yet. Anyway, safe journey.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Bye.